Kobe, do you want to be paid what you're worth right now as a box office attraction at age 36, or do you want to win? Do you want to take one for the team to improve your cap position and your flexibility to add players and pieces around you the way Dirk has done in Dallas? This year, Dirk will make $8 million gladly. He took $8 million this year. Tim Duncan in San Antonio this year will make $10 million to give their teams chances to build better around them than the Lakers have been able to build around Kobe Bryant. Kobe, at age 36, will be in his 19th year this year, making $23.5 million. Now, is he worth 23.5, as this man always says, is a box office attraction in LA? You better, he's worth 3 times that much, 4 times that much. But there's still a thing called a salary cap that Kobe can't talk his way out of because it's not going away. It's a fact of NBA life that your team is somewhat restricted in the pieces they can add around Kobe Bryant, who has made in his career already $280 million in salary alone. That's a lot of salary. Dirk's already made $204 million, and Tim has made $225. So they just said, we're good.
We made enough.
You know, we got our money in our bank, and we're good. We'll just take, by superstar standards, pittances. Those are just like cookie jar salaries, you know, to me. But Kobe says, no, I want the max. I want 23.5 this year, and I want 25 million next year at age 37 in his 20th year. Again, worth it at the gate and as a TV attraction, not worth it against the cap.
I don't know. It's a touchy subject because there's no cap to say what owners can do to make money for the team.
Nope.
And you know, as they continue to make more money, then players are supposed to take less money or be looked at in a certain way if they're trying to get more money. So I understand your point because it is a team sport, and you know, like you said, after you've made so much money, you know, you can take a cut and say, you know, I would like to build a team here. But in Kobe's place, what is he building a team for his last 2 years? He could do that, or he could say, yeah, this is probably my last 2 years. Let me get my money and, you know, still do what I do at the same time.
But do you think he's saying I'd rather take my money and not win? Because he feels that's how people are portrayed.
No, I think, I mean, that's how, because the players' salaries are widely talked about. I don't think any of the ownership numbers and, you know, a deal, things like this get out, but it don't be like barbershop talk, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's a quick conversation. But the players' salaries, that's always conversation, you know what I'm saying? And I think that, like he's saying, the players get the bad end of the stick because they always, it looks selfish if they want more money or they don't take a pay cut, but the owners are not taking any cuts as well. So it's two-sided to me.
Skip Bayless and I adamantly disagree on this issue because of the perspective which we come from. Mm-hmm. Skip explained his, I'll explain mine. Kobe Bryant, first of all, doesn't believe he's going to lose when he's on the court. He believes he's going to win. That's number one. Number two, Kobe Bryant isn't of the mindset that, you know, he snatched all the money he could get. You just acknowledged that he's worth 3-4 times as much because he's box office, which means that he could have gotten more out of the Lakers. As far as he's concerned, he did take a pay cut. So now that we've gotten that issue out of the way, let's understand what Kobe Bryant's bigger issue is. If Dr. Buss, and I've said this to you on many occasions, if Dr. Buss were alive, you think Dr. Buss could have convinced Kobe to take 15 to 20 million? Yes, he could have. But Jim Buss ain't Dr. Buss. And so what happens is that when you have marquee guys in this league, think about this. Dirk Nowitzki has been a part of the Dallas Mavericks. He was there when they stunk. He watched Mark Cuban make this franchise relevant and build a championship team. As a result, you asking Dirk Nowitzki to make a sacrifice is something that he could conceive because he is set. He is in a place that he wants to be at. He is revered. He's going to be a Dallas Maverick for life. And far beyond his playing days, he's going to have a connection to that franchise and beyond that could facilitate him doing some things. We don't know what kind of relationship Mark Cuban has facilitated with folks in Germany, his homeland, where it could benefit Dirk Nowitzki down the road beyond his playing days. That's a point.
No, but you can't do that against the salary.
No, you can't do that against the salary. I guess what I'm trying to say to you is that him making that sacrifice. There's a bigger picture.
When circumventing
well,
the
listen,
cap,
well, whatever. They can sit there and deny it all they want to.
Right.
Andrei Kirilenko, he's from Russia. Mikhail Prokhorov owned the Nets, still owns the Nets even though he's trying to sell. He comes to the Brooklyn Nets for considerably less. Why? Because Mikhail Prokhorov is Russian and I'm Russian, so I want to do this for my patriot? Really?
Maybe.
Whatever. The point that I'm trying to make to you, who knows what's going back on in Russia, okay? Right. When you look at Tim Duncan, here's the San Antonio Spurs. You've got 5 championships now for this organization, led by the great Greg Popovich, a great owner in Peter Holt. When they come to you and ask you to take a bit less, number one, you're looking at the credentials that they bring to the table because of what they're asking you to sacrifice for, combined to what they gave you in the past, with you understanding that as you got older, they could have left you high and dry. They could have failed to build a team around you. They didn't do all of those things. Kobe Bryant is Kobe Bryant. He's a 5-time champion. This is what he brings to the table. He's everything to L.A., and he's saying, why y'all looking at me? I delivered on my end of the bargain. His press conference last year, Skip said, oh, no, don't talk to me about rebuilding. He said, you want to hold the players accountable? What about you as an executive? What about you as an owner? You have a mandate. This is what you got to work around. Find a way to work around it, because you would be telling the players the same thing. And he's looking at Joe Public and he's saying, pay attention to all of that, not just the players, because it's not just about the players. It's about them too. And everybody doesn't deserve the max, and everybody doesn't get the max. And there's a lot of teams with a lot of players that don't have max players, rather, that they're winning. How come the Lakers can't find a way? Kobe Bryant has a right to ask that question. It's legitimate.